Tonight's breaking bond, a 23-year-old man called a gang member in court documents, now charged in a murder some say shouldn't have happened. Fox 26's Randy Wallace joining us live from the courthouse with the latest in his ongoing series. Randy.
Yeah, Rossi. Now, Harris County's criminal justice system gave Gabriel Menifee break after break. That may have cost 25-year-old Jalen Ward his life. He's only 23, and Gabriel Menifee has already posed for 8 mugshots.
Every single offense that Gabriel Menifee was involved with had one common denominator: gun.
March 2020, Menifee is charged with robbery and aggravated assault with serious bodily injury.
Gets a break, man. He gets a PR bond.
A year later, Menifee is charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
Gets another break. Out on bond on that.
In October of 2022, Menifee is sentenced to 4 years probation. How did he do on probation?
Oh, God. From people that I've talked to, he didn't do anything. Bottom line was he broke every probation condition you can name of. He had positive drug cases, failed to report, failure to pay fees.
In October of last year, Menifee is charged with aggravated assault.
Gabriel Menifee is an active member in a gang called the PNG gang, which is Play No Games. He and another one of his gang members basically were just shooting into a crowd at a park. You know, luckily nobody was hit.
According to court documents, people were in fear of their lives.
They were running, bullets were scattered all over.
Menifee is not arrested for the aggravated assault last year. He goes on the run and his probation revoked. On November 2nd, police say Menifee shot and killed 25-year-old Jalen Ward during an argument inside a hotel room at 2451 Hayes Road.
Mr. Menifee, you've been charged with the first-degree felony offense of murder.
If his probation would have been revoked based on all the violations, this young man would be alive today.
No ifs, ands, or buts.
Jalen Ward's mother tells me that he operated a dog kennel business and was known for helping people. His alleged killer, Menifee, remains jailed under bonds totaling $1,250,000. Reporting live from the courthouse, Randy Wallace, Fox 26 News.
Good evening and thank you so much for joining me tonight. I'm Anthony Antoine. A man has died after police say he was brutally attacked outside of a strip mall. This happened earlier today near the corner of South Post Oak and Willow Bend in Southwest Houston. Reporter Sherman DeSalle was on the scene earlier today. He spoke with police. Joining us now from the newsroom, Sherman.
Yeah, Anthony, police are still looking for who's responsible for this brutal attack, and we've spoken to some people who frequent that area, and they remember the man. While police have not identified him, the people around town believe that this man was homeless, and he was a frequent visitor of that area. So HPD tells us that they got the call around 2 p.m. that a man had been knocked unconscious. When they got there, along with firefighters, they found him unresponsive on the ground in front of a furniture store on that block, not too far from a Walgreens on that corner. And when they got there, the witnesses say that they saw a man get out of a silver sedan and attack the victim who was just walking through the area.
So you feel like it was a targeted thing?
Correct. We don't believe there's a danger to the general public at this point. It appears to be targeted. He stopped, got out, went directly to the mail. So,
any other preliminary investigation indicate that the man that you're looking for, or the man who died from the injuries, would be seen around here normally?
Don't have any information on that right now. Like I say, the investigators are talking to the other businesses here, looking at surveillance videos.
Well, I've seen the homeless guy prior times. I said hello to him, so I care for him. I found out that he was hit or beaten. Yeah. I thought he was doing well in the hospital. I found out that he actually died. So it makes me feel like a bit uneasy, but unfortunately that's life.
Pretty horrible situation. Police are investigating this as a homicide. The people around town in that area described him as a Hispanic male. If you have any information that could help police piece together exactly what happened, contact them or Crime Stoppers.
A shooting at an apartment complex early this morning is now under investigation.
Harris County deputies were called to the complex on Iverness Forest and found one man dead. Denise Middleton is there. This is in North Harris County, just off of the Hardy in 1960. Any idea, Denise, what led up to this shooting and if anyone is in custody?
Well, right now, one person is detained, and investigators are still trying to determine exactly why this happened. But it started around 6 this morning here at the Kendall Manor apartment complex, and we're told a man in his 50s broke a window but was shot and killed before he was able to get inside. Now, the sheriff's office tells us there was a mother, father, and 4 children inside who were not hurt. They say the father shot and killed the man once he saw him trying to break in, and we're told the man tried to run away but collapsed. Deputies found him lying on the ground with multiple gunshot wounds and performed CPR, but he died here at the scene. Now, it's unclear whether the family knew the man, but witnesses tell investigators that he lived in a nearby unit here at the complex. It's not confirmed, though, if he was in fact their neighbor. Now, they did mention that this is typically a quiet area, so they don't often get calls here.
It's a family apartment complex. Things like this rarely happen. All we can tell them is that they're safe and nobody's in danger.
So right now, homicide detectives are still working to gather evidence. They're talking to witnesses and looking for possible surveillance video. Again, the father is cooperating with this investigation, and so we'll be sure to keep you updated as soon as we learn more. Reporting live from Northwest Harris County, Denise Middleton, Fox 26 News.
Denise, something like this is so overwhelming if you're used to just this quiet, safe space. Did you get a chance to talk to neighbors and see how they're feeling about all this?
No, we saw one neighbor when we pulled up, and they didn't seem to know anything, and they hadn't heard anything, even though they seem to live pretty close by the unit. So we hadn't spoken with any neighbors who knew much about the situation.
Okay. So they will be talking about it for sure.
They sure will. Denise Middleton live in North Harris County. Denise, thank you so much.
Well, with the holiday season underway, law enforcement is warning about jugging. And if you don't know what it is, it's when criminals follow people after they leave a bank, ATMs, or stores, and it's all to steal their cash or belongings. It can be such a scary situation. Fox 26's Jillian Hartman is live for us along Westview Drive in Northwest Houston, where a 70-year-old man was recently targeted. Jillian.
Yeah, that's right. Police tell us that man was robbed at gunpoint at this ATM here at the Walmart parking lot on Monday night. They say that the robber forced him to withdraw money and then shot him as he handed over the cash. And right now that victim is in critical condition. Authorities tell me today that they do see more jugging cases during the holidays as more people are at banks and stores. Today, Constable Alan Rosen shared some advice. Take a listen.
My advice is obviously go to the bank, to an ATM machine. Go, if you can, inside the bank. Do your transaction, put everything away before you walk out so that our crooks don't know if you were there making a deposit or if you were withdrawing. When you get out of the bank and you have your money, look around the parking lot. See if there's somebody sitting in a car that's watching you. Just observe every car that's parked out in the parking lot and make sure that no one's watching you. Get in your car, and when you leave, make sure that nobody's following you. So often that's how this crime happens.
Are there any particular times of day or certain days that these jugging situations happen?
I mean, it's easier at night. You know, it's better at night. The cover of darkness helps with their criminal activity. So again, we prefer people go to the bank, go inside during the day.
What are the biggest mistakes that you have seen people do that make them an easy target?
Go to the outside ATM machines, you know, count their money, start looking at their phone, don't pay attention to anything that's going on around you, get into your car, drive off, don't look see if anybody's following you, or, you know, you will greatly reduce, again, your chances of being the victim of a crime by just being aware.
What steps can they take if they believe they're being followed after leaving the bank or a shopping center?
You know, kind of do some turns that wouldn't make sense for the car that's following you to turn. And if they turn with you and they're following you, you get that sense, contact law enforcement, get a description of the vehicle. If you can get a license plate, get a description of the person that's driving it, contact law enforcement, share that information. They're going to ask you where you are, so be familiar with what street you're on, what street you're turning on, and it allows us to dispatch a vehicle, a law enforcement vehicle, to pull that car over and find out why they're following you.
Very helpful advice. The constable also said that these suspects often work in groups and they target ATMs, banks, shopping centers, malls, and grocery stores. He says that local agencies do have officers and deputies working extra hours this holiday season to keep people safe. Reporting live, I'm Jillian Hartman, Fox 26 News.
All right, welcome back to your news here at 9 o'clock. Only on Fox, a Pasadena woman says she was sexually assaulted outside of a Walmart parking lot, all while she was grocery shopping with her 2-year-old son. Fox 26's Angie Rodriguez joining us live from where the alleged crime occurred. Angie.
Yeah, the 22-year-old woman says she was just getting groceries for a quick dinner this past Monday, a little bit before sunset, when everything happened right in front of her child.
The fact that my son was there, like, how do you do that in front of a 2-year-old boy? Like, he was right in front of me when it happened. And I think he even confused him for my partner. He was like, "Papi," and I was like, "No."
For the past 2 days, Melanie Lozano says she feels trapped inside her own home after she told Houston police she was sexually assaulted by this man caught on surveillance outside of the Walmart parking lot off El Dorado Boulevard.
So I went back to my back seat where my son was to put him in his car seat properly. And that's when he just came up behind me, and I was kind of bent over in my car to grab my son. So he kind of just like pushed up against me, so where I kind of fell a little more over. And he smacked me really hard and just gripped me from behind. And by the time I just turned around, I had just seen him like run the opposite direction into the dark.
What were those initial moments like? I mean, were you in shock? Did you realize what happened?
I think whenever I turned around, like, I kind of just wanted to push him off, and I don't even remember like screaming or anything. And you know, you think when you see situations happen like that, you think like you're gonna react and you're gonna fight, but I didn't know what to do.
Now Lozano says she's hoping HPD can identify the man they believe is behind the alleged assault so she can get some justice for her and her son.
I think, being completely honest, if it was only me, I think maybe I would have let it go. But for the sole fact that my son was there, the mom and me could never let someone get away with that. So I really do it for my son, that I have to move forward, and for, you know, a lot of women that probably don't have the opportunity that I do right now.
And Houston police did say that they couldn't comment too much on this because it is a sexual assault case. The only thing they could confirm is that they did receive a report at their department. Angie Rodriguez, Fox 26 News.
We start with a tough situation. Breaking news from Cypress, where there is a big police presence outside a home on Bonaventure Drive.
Yeah, we've learned a man and woman were found dead inside. Denise Middleton just arrived there to the scene live there in Northwest Harris County. Denise, we know you just got there. Any information you can share at this point?
Well, it really is a sad situation. You know, we're told a married couple in their 50s were found dead in this home here behind me, where you see the red truck and detectives there investigating with the Harris County Sheriff's Office. The crime scene unit, as you can see, has just arrived as well. We're told this is believed to be a murder-suicide. The Harris County Sheriff's Office says parents of the couple lived next door and noticed that they hadn't left for work, so they went to check on them around 7 this morning. That's when they found the husband and wife dead in their bedroom from multiple gunshot wounds. Sheriff Ed Gonzalez says there was also an adult and 2 small children in the home. There were no other injuries reported. Now, right now, they are talking to neighbors and to the parents of the couple to learn more about exactly what may have happened. And they're also looking into possible calls at this home in the past. You know, so far they told me this is a quiet area and they haven't been called to this home recently. But again, they're still looking into everything and gathering evidence. So we'll be sure to keep you updated as soon as we learn more details. Reporting live from Northwest Houston, Denise Middleton, Fox 26 News.
Well, only on Fox tonight, Harris County deputies are investigating a string of break-ins at bars in Katy. At least 2 local bars were targeted just days apart. Tonight, the owners want to warn others as deputies search for the burglars. Fox 26's Jillian Hartman is live outside Skolt's Sports Bar and Grill along the North Fry Road there. She did speak with the owners, and Jillian, what did they tell you about all this?
Yeah, so the owner actually thinks that the criminals plan this out in advance, because if you take a look right over here, he says that surveillance camera outside the bar here was spray painted days before the burglary, and he said his bar was actually hit twice yesterday morning. Now, the owner shared this surveillance video of the break-in. Take a look at this. He says these videos show 2 people pulling up to his bar in a silver car just before 5 a.m. yesterday. One of them broke the lock on the front door, then breaks open several gaming machines and stole the cash boxes. The thieves left, and the owner said they actually came back about 2 hours later, breaking into more gaming machines, and he shared these photos of the damage. Now, a customer here tells me that this is terrible and hopes the suspects are caught.
I think it's just crazy for this community. This is such a tight-knit, small community. These bars are pretty well known and small community of people, and this is something that's rare. I've not ever seen it since I've moved here, so I'm really in shock of all this. I just want justice, because I don't think it's right, and they're all having to deal with this, and now who's to say who's next?
Yeah, that's definitely sad to hear about, especially we know how hard our local restaurants and bars work to serve everyone during times like this. So, Jillian, what was the other bar that was broken into around that area?
Yeah, so we also learned today that JJ's Bar was broken into last week. That is located on Highway 6, and it's actually just a few minutes away. So take a look at this video. The owner shared this surveillance video with me today. So he said that around 8 a.m. on November 3rd, 2 suspects cut their way in through a garage door at his business, and he said that the thieves went inside, breaking into gaming machines, taking cash boxes. They also stole a safe. He tells me that they caused more than $25,000 worth of damage. And then the 2 suspects, he says, were seen on surveillance video outside, leaving the scene again in a silver car. So both owners told me today that they believe the same suspects are responsible. Now, today I did reach out to the Harris County Sheriff's Office. I talked to them. They say that they are investigating both cases and are working to determine if the burglaries are in fact connected. Anyone with information is encouraged to call the Sheriff's Office Burglary and Theft Unit at 713-274-9200. Reporting live, I'm Jillian Hartman, Fox 26 News.
A teen is in the Galveston County Jail tonight, accused of killing his own mother. Lamarck police say Tuesday they were called about a disturbance at a home on Kristen Street. When they arrived, they found 36-year-old Sakara Carter shot in the face. She later died at the hospital. At first, officers thought her son, 18-year-old Keith Ray Smith, was barricaded inside the home, but he wasn't. A tip to Dixon police led to the capture last night.
That no words can ease the pain of such a devastating loss, but please know that our thoughts and prayers with all who knew and cherished Sakara. The entire community shares in grief, and we stand with you in mourning in the loss of a life taken far too soon.
Dickinson's police department say that Smith's bond is set at $1 million.
Only on Fox Report here tonight, career criminals are getting sweetheart deals after pleading guilty to felony theft within days of being arrested. Fox 26's Randy Wallace joining us live tonight from the courthouse with this exclusive. Randy.
Yeah, Anthony, now we're used to hearing that the wheels of justice can turn slow, sometimes taking months or even years for some cases to go to trial. But we found some convicted thieves getting plea deals in record time. We found about a dozen theft cases involving career criminals who pled guilty to theft within just days of being charged.
I'm seeing cases that are filed and a person is convicted in basically a 2-week time span. I've not seen that before.
Have you ever seen cases adjudicated this quickly?
Not in Harris County.
56-year-old Carl Torrance has 11 felony convictions.
11 felony convictions, not charges, but convictions since 2021.
Last May, Torrance pled guilty to theft and was sentenced to 60 days in jail. That happened just 16 days after he was charged.
Now he's facing 5 more felony thefts.
Since being convicted.
Right. So obviously there's zero deterrent.
45-year-old Jonathan Lee has 10 felony convictions and went to prison 3 times. On November 3rd, Lee pled guilty to theft 13 days after being charged. He was sentenced to 180 days in jail. 49-year-old Kenneth Walliver was serving probation for theft and drugs when he pled guilty to theft last June. He got 45 days in jail, just 13 days after being charged.
So you got a new conviction while you're on multiple probations, and he's still on probation.
42-year-old Marcus Jones has 8 felony convictions and sent to prison 3 times. Last month, he pled guilty to felony theft and got 180 days in jail, just 4 days after being charged.
We in Texas don't have a 3 strikes and you're out or a 4 strikes and you're out or whatever it may be. So they don't care if they've got 20 felonies. They'll plead guilty to it for time served.
Now, the DA's office sent us this prepared response. Our office continues to prosecute those who commit crimes in Harris County. Reporting live from the courthouse, Randy Wallace, Fox 26 News.
Well, this next story might make you pretty upset. Pearland police say hundreds of dollars worth of jewelry, they were all stolen from a room of a nursing home resident. Police are searching for a woman that was caught on camera at the time of the alleged theft. Fox 26's Sherman DeSalle spoke with police about this and has that story tonight. Sherman?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Over $500 worth of jewelry swiped from a woman who had stepped away from her room for dinner. This happened at the Trinity Oaks facility that's on Pearland Parkway. So Pearland PD released this video from October 25th. It was around 4:30 that day. You see a woman in dark colored scrubs walk into the resident's room at Trinity Oaks and then leave after a few minutes. Well, the woman who lives in that room and her family tell police that when she got back, her jewelry was gone. And police say this woman in this video doesn't even work at the facility. They're actually wondering how she got in.
The employees there say that person doesn't work there, so I'm not exactly sure how their facility works, if people can be contracted out with other health providers to show up at the facility. But I've said a lot of our people on social media that somebody would do this, so we definitely like to get that person in custody.
So we tried to contact Trinity Oaks to ask about how that person managed to gain access in there. We're waiting to hear back. Again, if you know who that person is, who's responsible, contact Pearland PD. Anthony?
Yeah, man, that's ridiculous. All right, Sherman, thank you so much.
Well, we begin first tonight with Houston police. They're searching for a man who's accused of assaulting a store clerk during an attempted robbery. It was all caught on camera. Fox 26's Jillian Hartman is live outside Q-Mart along the Southwest Freeway where the attack all happened. Jillian, did the store clerk tell you how this all happened?
Yeah, he told me what happened. He tells me that he's really lucky that he wasn't seriously hurt and it was a really scary situation. So we do have video of that alleged attack. Take a look at this. Houston police shared this video online, and right now they're asking for the public's help in identifying the suspect. The store clerk tells me today the man walked in around 8 a.m. on Saturday, November 1st, and he said another man was outside trying to distract him while the suspect tried to steal several cases of beer, and he described what happened. Take a listen.
He was trying to distract me initially. The other guy went inside wearing a mask, so I knew something was going to happen. So I was standing right over here, waiting him to come out. He came out to the counter, pretending to buy the beer, but then he grabbed all 3 18-packs, trying to walk out, then have to stop him. So that's what we got into altercation. I was trying to grab the beer from him. He was pushing me, I was pushing him. Then he punched me, then I punched him. It was just went back and forth for like a few minutes, and then he ran away.
About 3 minutes. Okay. Clerk tells me that crimes have gone up in the last 3 weeks at his store, and it's very concerning. He shared surveillance videos of people masked up stealing things on multiple occasions, and he said thousands of dollars worth of food and beer have been stolen in recent weeks. Just 2 nights ago, he said a man and woman threw bricks through the front door window and ransacked the place, and it's gotten so bad that he said that he has had to call police at least 20 times in the past month. And as the holiday season gets underway, he is worried that this is going to get worse. So we did talk to Houston police today. They tell us that they are investigating the crime